Hi guys, my name is Jake Nelson, and I'm about to tell you about the time I went to Coachella when I was a senior in high school. So it was a crazy weekend and probably the most fun I've ever had. We were able to see a number of my favorite artists, and the overall environment was nuts, from everybody's crazy outfits to all of the different architectural installations. It was definitely an oasis. It was a complete escape from real life. Everyone was gathered there to have a good time, and on top of that, I was able to share the experience with all of my best friends. On day 2 of the festival, I woke up incredibly excited because two of the headliners that day were Post Malone and Louis the Child. They're both some of my favorite artists. Before leaving for the concert, we decided to have a little party at the house where we were staying. Looking back on that day, I definitely think that we partied a little too hard. After the party, we took a short Uber ride to the shuttle, which took us to the festival. The shuttle takes about 30 minutes. Everyone was in a great mood and we had a lot of fun. We were meeting new people and messing around on the shuttle. Once we arrived at the show, we went to the Sahara stage and decided to camp out there because we liked the artists in the lineup. It was mostly EDM artists with the exception of Post Malone, who was closing. Everyone was feeling pretty good, and we were all going crazy, participating in mosh pits and having a good time. It was definitely a vibe, and all of the performers were awesome. I decidedly was living my best life, but all that was about to change. During the Louis the Child performance, all the fun that I'd been having caught up to me and I crashed. I had no energy. Everyone thought that I looked like I was going to pass out. Making matters worse, all of the people helping me were fairly intoxicated, so they weren't that helpful. Being a trooper, I stayed at the concert with my friends, even though I just wanted to get to a quiet place and call it a day. On a side note, my friend Leo actually passed out in a locked porta potty for over an hour. It was decidedly a day of unnecessary excess. I continued to rally because it was late in the show and I still wanted to see Post Malone. Although my body was telling me no, my mind was telling me yes. I had an internal conversation with myself, saying that missing Post Malone and leaving early was not an option. However, I soon devised a compromise. I left my friends and found a spot to sit and watch the show, which was a little farther back from the stage. It was actually super peaceful, and although I was away from the party and the crowd, I still got to see Post Malone, which is what I had wanted. But leaving my friends turned out to be a bad idea. After the show, I decided not to catch up with my friends and make my way back to the hotel on my own. I felt pretty terrible, so I didn't mind being alone because I just wanted to go to bed. I left for the shuttle, following what I thought were the correct signs. I walked for about an hour, which seemed way longer than it did when I arrived at the show, and longer than it had taken when I departed the night before. Because the walk had taken so long, I was super excited to get on my bus. I soon realized that I had gone to the wrong bus line, and I would have to walk an hour back in the direction that I came to get to the correct bus terminal. At the time, this was demoralizing, and to make things worse, my phone had died, so I couldn't get in contact with anyone. Pretty upset, I started to walk back towards the correct shuttle, but was informed that I might not catch it because the last shuttle was expected to leave shortly, at which point I would be stranded with no phone and no way to get home. Fortunately, they had bike taxis, which take you to from one part of the grounds to the other. They're actually pretty fun, and I stepped into one and we started bumping music. A testament to how far I walked is that the ride back to the correct shuttle line took about 20 minutes. At this point, I had to pay him, and the ride cost me $40, which is all the money I had in my wallet. I barely made it on the last bus to La Quinta, which was the closest shuttle stop to where we were staying. Also, very fortunate, a nice person let me borrow their charger because I needed to call an Uber when I got back to the shuttle stop. After arriving at the shuttle stop, it took over 30 minutes to reach an Uber to take me back to the house. When I arrived at the house, my friends were freaking out. It was 3 a.m. and they had gotten back around 11. I told them that I was leaving early and they had expected me to be back at the hotel when they arrived. Adding to my general discomfort was that I got zero sleep that night because I was sleeping on a plastic air mattress with a blanket. I think the floor would have been more comfortable. Other than a terrible ending, day 2 of Coachella was amazing.